Okay. That's acting like it's gonna work now, but we'll say this. Is it the end of the world? Little Nick Frost. Just chilling Nick Frost there for a second. I was just thinking about that. What the fuck even? What? What? Yeah. This is live, right? Yeah. Okay. Man, sometimes I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with YouTube. And other times, it's just clearly I'm the problem. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But that means that the other half... Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know what I'm doing then either. Alrighty, so... Where is our cutting board? Aha. What else we got down here? That's a Primaris head. Good morning. You're the problem. It's you. It's me. I'm the problem. I knew it. I had a feeling. All right. Good morning, my sweet, sweet possum. How are you? Hopefully well rested after your long journey. I can feel you. Speaking of I can feel you, I think the 28 like mixtape collective is out now. Like a bunch of music, sound stuff for 28 magazine. I've got a track on there called I Can Feel You, Can You Feel Me? Pretty sure they released that. I don't know if I've honestly listened to it since I made it. But I was thinking about that, and that made me think of Aki. I can feel you. It's been a long journey. Yeah, okay. I'm excited about these little parts. I'm excited to make some legs today. And we might need a base. And we're probably going to need... I'm going to take off these flips. So I've entered this new fun spot with I bought the tape. Oh, you bought the tape? Oh, you bought the tape? That's fun. I need to buy the tape. I bet it was available on a cassette because they like cassettes. Those boys and their cassettes. I'm gonna turn on these lights. So I'm gonna turn on the lights. Something. So I made a lot of progress yesterday on the castle. I want to know how the rest of the tape is. I'm good, but slept on the couch funny, so my back is doing rough. Oh no, that's not good at all. I know that. I know those struggles. Being 30, am I right? Yeah, dude. Just wait until you start really and unintentionally trying to destroy your own body. I don't think that's a 30 thing. I think that's just something. 30 is I think I was 30 when I put my axe in my leg. I was 30 till I put an axe in my leg. Yeah, I was right at 30. I got married, put an axe in my leg, bought a house, all within within a month of each other of getting married, starting my grown up job, doing, like, I was like, man, I'm going to be real adult really quick right at 30. And then I was just like, you know what else adults do? Whack! They put axes in their legs. Which that just makes me think of Always Sunny. I think that might just be Neil. I think, yeah. I don't think that's so. Kelly's. I was gonna say I don't want to tell Kelly's age, but Kelly just turned 30. So, yeah, she hasn't done that either. So yeah, I think it might just be a me thing. Ooh boy, I'm gonna mute this. Bam! Look at that. I'm using my technology. I said, "Oh, this is an awful choice now, though, because I put these all in the bag because I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna put it all in that bag." But I'm like, man, I should have done something to organize this a little bit better. But I'm not gonna use this or that or that or these. So I'm probably just gonna grab a bunch of the stuff that I'm not gonna use. I'm gonna throw them in here. But first, I think I'll stay over here. Keep my pile of trash right there. That's my trash pile. Don't forget. Don't forget that I've got the trash right there. Okay. I was thinking about these Marauders, and I'm going to do something fun with them. I don't know what. You look like you need to be made into something fun. Just hacked up. I was thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot about Cyberpunk. I can't stop thinking about Cyberpunk. I love Cyberpunk. Gets me really, really pumped. I found 2 new tribes, creators on my mini factory that I am kind of obsessed with currently. One is Unit 9. They make a bunch of cyberpunk stuff, and I really, really like that it is like generic. There is just a very large amount of bits that I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna use those. And then Project Mobius, which is one that it's like I feel like I've probably seen before, but I've never really stopped like to look. But they make terrain, and they make it with the open lock system, so it can like all click together, which is the same kind of thing that the walls use from 3D layered scenery, the Greendale walls. Greeblin has fallen silent, as you can tell. I don't know. I don't know what we were printing next. I could print. I need to get all of Grimdale out and look at it. But that is definitely in the vein of preparing for Trench Crusade, getting all that out and like mapping out the cartography of that. I'm aware that right now I should be working on that castle, but I'm not going to do that in the morning while I'm trying to stream, because that is a once I clock in, then I start doing that where I'm like, but damn, it's going to be done today. Yesterday I did all of the scoring horizontally, and that's definitely, I've learned a absolute shit ton about how to build a castle, and I definitely will make a video, like an actual video, like kind of going in the process. I have not been streaming or doing it while working on it because it is just a monumental level of like work that I have to like stay focused on. So like any kind of distractions really just pull me out, and they just make it go faster or slower. So that's why I haven't been streaming or hanging out while I've been doing that part. But the next parts are going to be way more fun as soon as I get done with the scoring, and we can get back to actually like streaming while I finish up the castle. So that should be in the next, I mean, honestly, probably tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning I will probably be doing some fun stuff with that. So yeah, Project Mobius, they make a bunch of terrain, and Unit 9 make a bunch of STLs, like files for cyberpunk stuff. And the reason that I'm like, oh man, those are great, is I have a ton of stuff to convert and hack up and make into, techie kind of stuff. But as far as being able to just be like, okay, I just need to print real quick, blip, blip, blip. That is something that I'm pretty excited about, just because I don't have with fantasy kind of stuff, I have Bistarium, so I constantly am getting like a new supply of like new bits, potential new bits, if I want them to like, download, print. But as far as sci-fi, I don't have one. I have not found a drive that makes a generic sci-fi kind of STL's designs that I got really excited about until Unit 9. I was like, man, between them and Bistarium, I could pretty much, I think, cover what I need to cover, regardless of if I had a giant pile of bits already. I just am trying to keep track of that, and also I like just being like, man, look at all these new toys. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Haven't printed anything yet, but the whole reason that I was looking into that is I've been thinking about what to be printing now that Greeblin is slowing down, and we have a couple different options. And the reason that I'm like, oh, well, why do you need to be printing something? It's just like, well, because if Greeblin isn't printing, that is time. That's time that Greeblin could have been printing that I will be wishing that Greeblin had been, like in a month or so. Gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by my own calculations of how long it takes to do things, especially when I don't actually know the length of time each of these things takes. But I'm like, yep, that'll be printed out by then. Okay, this should all be lining up around the same time, because now like we're getting closer and closer to this deadline where I'm like, oh yeah, the other part of me that's like really good at planning like when he's awake and that kind of stuff, he took care of that. So it's kind of like being on a ride that like you designed and like all the tips and tricks of, but like you forget them like halfway through. So it's just like, man, I did all the work. I did a plan. I came up with a really good plan, but like I forget it halfway through, and then I'm like, oh man, who came up with this? This is fucking legit. Oh, it was me. Hell yeah. But the downside of that is like I can't. If I don't give an active shit, like I can't just call on that. It's just like, oh man, yeah, if I really like something, I can come up with some really fucking good plans. But being able to tap into that, it's not just a on the dime kind of thing. It has to be, there's very specific situations. And I don't think I'm going to have any fire drills in my current role. Fire drill at work would be any time. It's just like, this has to be done now. Oh my gosh, everything. Red lights, everybody go, go, go. That kind of shit. Typically, those things don't normally happen in well-run businesses and industries. So, yeah. Anywho, rant. What I was getting at with that was, so I planned to print all of Greendale, and my thinking was, Greendale will be great for Trench Crusade, will be great for Last War. And the reason that I am including both of those is because with the Farewell to Arms, I really, especially with this, this channel, with what I'm doing here, I really want to show how to take things from solo play to, hey, you can sit down at the table. I want to show, I guess, going from one end of the spectrum of tabletop pen and paper RPG with Farewell to Arms to, I want to take that character and I want to play a game with little models. So like Last War. And then because, it's all World War One, that same terrain could be used for Trench Crusade. So I'm just trying to plan all the things that I'm wanting to do with the things like way in advance, so I can factor in how long it takes to print them, how long it takes to paint them, how long it takes to make everything else to go with them. That way we can start playing at the same time, or everything lines up. But then I also need to think about what I'm going to be working on after that. So while I am putting forth all of my like terrain creative time towards the castle, as soon as it's done, I'm going to be hitting. I think. I think probably some terrain for Trench Crusade. The next game that I'm going to like really go all out for, like I did with 1490 Doom, is going to be Necropolis, because I absolutely love the fact that I can make a 16 by 16 diorama board, and just kind of go nuts, and it just be a self-contained, very much like 1490 Doom. I love having the ability to dump my like heart and soul into something and it be very contained in a small space, and then I don't have to keep going back and adding to it unless I choose to, which I absolutely love to do that kind of stuff. However, I'm pretty tired with the castle. I don't know if I have the castle, another castle in me immediately after I finish it. So I think I'm probably going to do some scatter terrain stuff, which my thinking about that would be doing scatter terrain makes it to where, one, I can use it for Trench Crusade, two, I could use it for Last War. That's it. I'm trying to make sure that the stuff that I build is used in different things. That way I am able to showcase as many games as possible as quick as possible, if that makes sense. By using the same terrain, by using the same kind of stuff. This is especially like with trees. My trees, I'm planning on to base them and make them to where they will fit in, whether I'm playing Forbidden Psalm or Last War, that kind of stuff. So that is a long tangent about what I've been doing, what my plan is, kind of thing. Why Greeblin is not printing. It's not because Greeblin's lazy. Greeblin is not lazy. Greeblin's a very hard worker, and we're all very, very appreciative. I feel like I just talked and talked and talked and talked. But I guess that's what I do. I'm yawning. I need to find little pieces of metal now. And they are in here. Just a bunch of hair. Just a bunch of hair on some shelves. Yeah, also, hopefully any of that tracks and it doesn't just seem like me being like, I'm going to do this and then do this. And then I never do anything. But I think I am showing that I am doing stuff, so. You know, picked up a solo RPG guide from Arcane Press. It is very cool. I like that. Arcane Press. Solo RPG guide. I love the sound of that. Man, I'm gonna be real. I came very close to being like, maybe I just want to play, what is the one? Caveat Emptor this morning. Also, yeah, Possum, yesterday I covered that in the stream. I talked about coming up with a Latin fancy sounding name for King Piss. I just want to make characters for Cyborg so bad. I've just been thinking about Cyborg for like days now. I think it's just I've been so caught up in 1490 Doom and like just no technology. I've just been like, yep, just bridges and stuff like that, bricks and shingles, and I'm like, I need robot legs. I need a robot face and robot legs, and I want to crawl on the walls like a spider. I want to be Dr. Ock. Life's not fair. That's pretty much where my head's been. I want to be Dr. Ock. Life's not fair. 30s, am I right? So, no, that sounds cool. Arcane Press. I need to look into that. Oh yeah, I remember now. We were gonna Start working on some leggies. Leggies. Yeah, those are going to be dope leggies. Oh, yeah. That's going to look like a leg. And we're going to be like, man, so glad. So glad I had that leg right there. Now, this might be a little too crazy. That would have been way too crazy. I'm not going to do that. Maybe I am. I feel like that kneecap is a little too black. It is. It's a little too bulky. A little too bulky. So we're going to cut it. So we're going to cut this guy probably like halfway. And I'm going to use a thicker knife to do that, I think. Or saw. Oh no. My things. Oh shit. All my things. Okay. Arcane press. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to write that down so I look it up. Whiteboard style. I got to clean off the whiteboard. Don't look. Nobody look. It's... yeah. Man, I need to clean this off. The Book of Piss. Well, I got that taken care of. Name-wise, anyway. Arcane Press. I recently downloaded something off Itch. Which that's a joke because it's just like, man, I've downloaded so much shit off Itch. I downloaded Night Thirst, which I've not played. Obviously, I just downloaded the rules, but I picked up the digital copy from the old Witty, the Whittle Goblin. I can't stress enough. It's very weird. Like, facial structure, no. Everything else, minus tattoos, like, Witty looks so much like my mom that it is like... It's odd when I meet someone that has, like, dark, curly hair, like my mom did. Like, my mom's hair is not like that now, but, it's like mine. Like, mine, if I grew my hair out, like, it looks like that. I've never done that. The longest I've ever grown it was like past my chin if I pulled it. It just straight up for years I just rocked a very Frodo kind of look. That's where the Elo Muggins name comes from. Frodo Baggins, Elo Muggins. Muggins. So yeah. Shit. Witty, Night Thirst. Looked at Night Thirst, it looks fucking sick. I misunderstood that it is not a role-playing game. Like, it's a tabletop, like, role-playing game, kind of. Kind of like an Inquisitor, kind of, it seems. In the sense that you mainly play one character, not like a group of characters. Trying to out-hunt other vampires for blood, which is fucking sick. And two, also, I really love... Man, if you can make a game that, like, the person that I'm playing with and I, like, we are doing anything other than just trying to kill each other every single mission, I really like that. I like when people put forth effort into that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that I don't want to play games if all we do is just try to kill each other, because, I mean, I like those too, but I just like rolling dice with my friends. I just like rolling dice with my friends and clipping little pieces of plastic. See, I said that I was going to use a saw or a knife to cut that. And I started to do that and I just said, this is stupid. So I just used a pair of clippers. Oh, shit. I don't know where my other knife is. But, yeah. Okay. I've not actually gone back and listened. I'm sorry. We were talking about Witty's game. I'm in a meeting right now, and I can only half listen. I'm sorry, Possum. I was talking about Witty's game. I have not done anything other than a quick initial look through the rules, which I feel like a terrible person because anytime I'm like, oh, one of my friends made a game, I'm like, I'm really excited because I love when I have friends who make games. And then I go to look at it eventually. But I'm a busy boy. That's why. Oh, okay, that's better. That's gonna be good. I'm thinking that's gonna be good. So, for reference, this guy, his little leggy is what we're kind of trying to emulate with this. And now that I'm doing that, I think honestly, does that whole second part, that second part needs to come off too. I think it needs to be very square like this. Yeah, so I'm doing a lot of things at the moment. Mentally, I'm talking about Night Thirst and Witty's game and how Witty looks like my mom, and it kind of creeps me out. But I say that only because my mom is like the same height as Witty, and that's like, again, it's like it's weird. Like it's like she looks like if my mom went in like a time machine, like and went back in time. It's just like seeing what my mom looked like when she was like a young adult. Like I guess that is what. It's weird. It's a weird thing. And she's like, oh, that's weird. But yeah. So, with that said, also very Sigourney Weaver. My mom kind of looks like a very short Sigourney Weaver-esque. That's yeah, that vibe. So, man, I've just had a bunch of strong ass women in my life, my whole life. I'm just kind of realizing that, and no male model, male role models. So it's just like, yeah, okay, huh. So I guess I'm like, yep, Sigourney Weaver. And then you got like fucking Arnold. Shit, what's the guy's name? Bruce Campbell. Yeah, no, that makes sense. This all tracks. Weird. I'm tired. So, big same, homie. Yeah, dude. That's a fun thing. You're just like, man, I'm starting to realize that I've just been raised by strong, independent women who didn't need no men my whole life, and I'm kind of feeling like maybe I was supposed to be a strong, independent woman who didn't need no man. And it's just like, but I'm a guy, and it's just like, well, shit, what do I do with that? 30. Am I right? That's like mid-30s. Women, cool as hell. Yeah. I'm tired. And it's hot. And my nose keeps running, and I don't want to blow my nose like right in front of the camera. Big same, homie. But yeah, that was a real weird tangent. I'm really trying to focus on this, and I've got a bunch of bits. I'm gonna have to take this hoodie off. It's too hot. It's the lights. And I'm absolutely not gonna do that because it's just like I don't want to be stripping in front of the camera. That is just a not a good vibe. Not going that route. What the hell else was I talking about? Night Thirst. I'm really excited to check it out. And not just because I'm looking for a distraction other than working on a big castle. I'm really excited because I fucking love vampires. That's the main thing. Which, that's absolutely one of the things about like, shit, what is it? Necropolis. Necropolis, one of the main things that I'm like, man, I really want to fucking make a bunch of vampires. What made you decide to scratch build flames mechs rather than kit bash battletech mechs? I'm an insane person. I think that's it. I think I picked up the battletech sets and I was like, man, I really like these little mechs. And I was like, man, I could absolutely cut them up and kit bash them. I think so. The biggest thing I could that absolutely would be the quickest way to do this. I think I wanted to do this because that's a very good question, Possum. I wanted to get a better understanding of the design language of BattleTech. That's the most accurate answer that I can give. I wanted to get a better understanding of the design language of BattleTech and, at a further extent, Flames, because I know Steve has said that like it's the setting is supposed to be like they were using these for work, and it's just like slowly over time they've been made into weapons. But it's like a the vibe I get is like space truckers, space trucker nomad bikers. Like it's the kind of crew that it's just like they live in the mechs, they work on them. Like it's their whole life is so tied to these giant machines that they're like almost parts of the family. And I really like that. I might have been adding a little bit of that myself, but yeah, I really like the idea of that, and I wanted to get into that vibe. And as far as specifically while I'm kit bashing, I have so many bits. One, I definitely probably shouldn't have gone out and just bought a bunch of BattleTech stuff if I wasn't going to actually like cut it up. But the part of me wanted to do that way I didn't have to, so I could use them for BattleTech if I wanted to play BattleTech. But then I had the thing with 3D printing and with me specifically. I absolutely I have a file for a Mad Cat or for a Timberwolf. I've had it for years because I love the Mad Cat, and I think it's specifically. I can tell you the image of the Mad Cat like this. Nope, it was reversed. It was like that, I think. Kind of to the side, and then Mech Warrior 2, and then a white background. Like I can tell you, like I can see the box for like the Sega Genesis Mech Warrior 2 game that I picked up, and like that has such a like distinct space in my brain, along with like Doom, the original Doom for PC. They have such a nostalgic part of me growing up, and my love of sci-fi and all of this. And I've never taken the time to understand that universe. And I really think that I owe it to that to try and do that. But more than anything, I just wanted to learn the design language. And I think the easiest way to do that is to try to reproduce it and replicate it. And I mean that like the same way for anything, really. They say they recommend often, a big one right there, Tim Henson, if you want to learn how to make music, one of the first things that he has said, and I mean, he's not the only one, but is try to recreate a track that you like in Ableton. If you like a song, try to make it. Like, try to make that song yourself. And by doing that, you start to understand processes. It teaches you how to use the systems. And that is kind of the same logic and mindset that I tried to go into things. Like with 1490 Doom. So with 1490 Doom, the big frog helmets. There is a design aesthetic and language to 1490 Doom. It's much more subtle than. Let me rephrase that. It's not much more subtle. It's different because they're completely different genres. But it's grimdark. It's not just base fantasy. It's definitely, I would say, steampunk. Steampunk is definitely in there, but there are certain shapes that are repeated, and certain like design aesthetics. Like once you figure those out, then you are able to like kind of make things that feel like they would really fit in that world. And BattleTech, I just was not confident enough, but I want to be. So that I think that's a very long answer, as all of mine are, but I really wanted to try and kit bash these from like scraps, if I could, to try and get an understanding of the shapes and how BattleTech mechs like actually work, because they really are a lot of blocks, like a lot of blocky shapes, which is something that is not repeated in like Space Marines. Space Marines are very round. But the more I looked at cyberpunk stuff, the more I was like, man, Space Marines actually are not very grimdark by design. They're actually a lot more anime-esque. They're all very smooth, round edges. So I am excited to see how to use those parts, and what I want to end up doing with those. But there's so many little bits that I'm like, man, the moment I stopped thinking about them as what they are and just looking at them as shapes, there's so many bits I'm like, man, that bit's rad. And that is absolutely not a new, unique thing that I'm doing. Like, that's... Speaking of 14, I met Cody. He said he loves you. Oh, yay. I love Cody. No, wonderful. I really wish that we had gotten to go. I missed seeing all my friends, and meeting new friends, and seeing you, Possum, and Atri, and everyone else that was there. The Wires. Yeah, there was a big whodunit of trying to figure out like my tickets and stuff, which I was excited that I ended up getting someone to use both my tickets, and I got both my shirts taken care of. One of them is still for me. Since Greg wanted it under the dice shirt, that worked out, because he got me a flame shirt, and I'm so pumped about it. I like flames. I haven't told Steve that I'm gonna kit bash these yet. I kind of just want him to find out. I think that's just the best way. He'll find out when he finds out. I don't want to tell him. I did message him. I asked him what the best size board was, that he thought, and he said 2 to 3. He said, or my exact phrase was, what size? I kind of wish I grabbed a flame shirt. They were very cool. I didn't know that they were being made. I was just really excited because I really like flames. I'm really excited about the rule set. Like, reading through it, I'm just like, man, this gets me so pumped. A lot of jumping. But my bags are so full that the homie has to ship things home to me. That is a problem that I am very aware I would have if I had gone. Is it's just like, yeah, we would have flown, and man, I'm sure that those bags would have been busting whenever I went to leave, because of just like, well, I gotta get all this swag, I gotta get all these things. And I saw that Exalted Funeral was there, and it's just like, dudes, I can't go to your website and like not be upset with the amount of money that I spend. How the fuck am I gonna go to your booth? Like, I can't even with that. I'm really liking these. These are gonna be good. I'm trying to figure out what to use for a foot. It's not gonna be another gun. He's got gun legs made out of gun. All gun. That's gonna be good. I'm really liking that. I'm thinking that is definitely in line with that vibe. So right there's cling, cling. Probably sounds like that when it walks. That's what I'm thinking. Just in case anybody was wondering. Arcane Press had a sick booth. Slow Death Chris had a sick stuff. Slow Death Chris. Arcane Press and Slow Death, I'm not familiar. It's wild. I am really starting to like think about how much I've changed in like the kind of stuff that I buy and the kind of stuff that I even am like drawn to. And it's just like, it's wild to think that at one point in time, I really would not use anything that was not GW. And I would not play anything because I was so invested in that ecosystem. And it just really made me think about, like, that is absolutely how that whole thing works. It's just, there's so many games that I was really like, man, that looks really cool, but I'm already so heavily invested in this, like, IP, that I don't want to get over into that. And it's just like, man, if I had done that sooner, I probably would have been a lot happier. Okay, Slow Death Games makes Wild in the Streets. Just a game about different cliques having a little street fight. I like that. I like a good street fight. Fighting in the streets. Fighting in the streets. Making buck beats. I don't know if I've ever explained buck beats, but my middleest son, Oliver James Buckwheat Corncob, as he is known. He's a man with many names. So he likes to make, in his sick card game, record collectors are pretentious assholes. That's great. That sounds wonderful. Buck beats are, it's my middleest son, Oliver. He likes to make super dope beats. He likes to get in cardboard boxes, and he'll sit there, and like where the box is like kind of like folded in on itself, like he'll push down on the lid, and he'll just go, and he'll do it for so long. So it's just like a, and you just kind of listen to it, and you're going, all right, yeah, I like it. So we call those buck beats. They're just pretty much just club beats. They're just driving beats. They just make you want to dance. He just wants you in the club. Speaking of which, that reminds me of, fuck, where did I go that they just wanted me to go to the club? It was the pet store. I went to the pet store, and I was just like, I had to go get chow. I had to get chow and litter for my babies, and I think it was there. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the pet store. Ah, man, I'm gonna have to think. I went somewhere, and it was the new "I'm Here for It." It was that new Gaga song where she just wants everyone in the fucking club. I don't remember what it's called, but it's so fucking. You're just like, I gotta get to the club now. That story pretty much, it was, I went somewhere and I was trying to stay focused, and they were playing that, and it was just like busting, and I was just like, fuck, I gotta focus. But also I'm just like, Michael's, it was Michael's. I went to Michael's to pick up my picture, that Martin, that big print that I got it framed, and it looks so fucking sick, and it's going to be probably on the wall with the brooding chair and stuff for when I do like the solo RPG filming and stuff. But back in the area, actually, that I'll be filming. Which, that's another thing. It's just like, man, looking at the time and looking at the dates and seeing how much I've gotten done, how much I still have to get done. It's just like, it's very easy to get frustrated and to get like down. But at the same time, I'm also just like, wow, okay, well, how much have I gotten done? And how much? Ooh, I want to see your frame job. All right, I'll take a picture and I'll put that in. I'll put that in the Discord. It looks so fucking sick. I've never paid to have anything like professionally framed before. As a former framer, I will judge you, but with love. I hope so. I'm really happy with it. There is one spot that I notice, because I am just a psycho like that, and I don't know if it's slightly turned, or if it was just the mat was cut like a hair, but there is a part of the picture like that comes above the mat, and I'm just like, that bothers me. But I mean, it is a hairline. I mean, a hairline where it was just like, and it could have been when I was driving home, like that the picture shifted. But it looks really, really, really good. It's on like antique gold frame, and black matting. Which looking into again, I'm not capable of like, oh hey, I need you to pick up this, go do this real quick for me. Okay, and then just going and doing it. Like I don't like. Whenever I proposed, I spent so much time learning about diamonds. Like I mean, months. I learned, and I don't know any of it now because I dumped it. Like, it's just I learned everything that you could. I could have gone to any, like, diamond shop and fucking talked shop like I knew about it because that's what I do. I obsess about things and I learn every single thing I can about them until I'm done. And then I move on to something else. And that's why I don't know dick about diamonds now. Like, I know that Kelly's is really nice because I wanted to learn not about rings, I wanted to learn about diamonds, and then I bought her diamond, and then I had it put in a ring. But I looked into all the things that you would look into, not to go and buy, but if you wanted to sell, if you had a diamond and you wanted to understand its worth. That is how I went about shopping. And I pretty much, like, hers looks fucking sick, but I paid way less than, some people did for ones that don't look anything like it, because it's just like, yeah, hers, and this is a bunch of random shit, but it's these kinds of things that I'm like, oh yeah, this is like the level of attention that I like to put into it, to things that I care about. Diamonds, apparently, there are so many different fucking ways to grade them. Not only cut, not only shape and color, but there are so many things, and there are so many that are in this like spectrum of, if done right, the picture shouldn't shift, but it's probably for the best. I don't think that it moves. It's like, I don't think the picture shifts. I think it's just set. I don't know, maybe, but it's probably for the best. I don't know. I might be describing it weird too. But I would love to have your feedback. I know all the ones that I've done myself are not as good as this one, I don't think. Well, let me rephrase that. One of them I did, it's fucking dope, and that's the one that's upstairs. Because I have all the stuff for cutting foam. I've done a lot of framing stuff that Kelly has painted and whatnot. I don't paint shit except little dudes, little dudes and gals. I was going to say that, yeah, no, I went into Michael's and it was that new Lady Gaga song, and I was just like, fuck, what am I doing? I gotta get the painting. I was here for something else too, and it just fucking just ready to go. I gotta get out of there. But yeah, that was a fun little thing. I'm really excited to show you guys that. So here is that. When the light goes up, it's gonna close like that. So yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm thinking like that. Be doo doo. Do do do. Wait a minute. Do 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 do. Yeah, okay. I never played much Mario. I say after humming that. The more the mat goes over the edge of the paper, the better. Sometimes that means it covers the artist much. Yeah, so and it's entirely on me. It's because I did not want them to. The picture was 18 inches, and I think I told them 19, and that's because I measured specifically. Like, I wanted not just the picture, but I wanted the whole piece, like the border as well, at least part of it, because it has his signature. Yeah, it has Martin's signature at the bottom, and that's important to me for works like that. Anything that I have that, especially with Martin being like someone that I consider a good close friend. I really wanted it to be like presented with his signature and everything. I'm trying to think what else I have that's signed. I've got a bunch of things that I love. I love art. I love to collect art. So it's just, I really wanted it to be, and I didn't think it's out of all the ones that like I've bought, all the pieces I bought, it's like the fanciest for sure. I think it's the biggest. It's the biggest. Outside of that, all the other pieces I bought are roughly this sized. Mainly Joe Keinberger. I buy a ton of his stuff, and then just prints. But Joe Keinberger's like I bought his originals. I don't know how many of his originals I have at this point. I have a lot of his watercolors. If you're trying to show a signature like that, I would recommend a float mount next time. Nice. So I have the photo that Eric took in a float mount. I like float mounts. I think you're right. I think that probably would have been the best way, but I really wanted it to. It's got a black border, so like it makes the art float above the mats. Yeah. Maybe that would have been the thing to do. I think it looks good. I think no one would notice it except me. That it's kind of coming up out of the corner. Kelly did not. Kelly did not notice it. I said, "Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about this," and she was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice that." She was like, "You can't even tell." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just a crazy person." And when you're looking at it, you absolutely can't tell. You can only tell if you get up and you look at it like this. But again, it's kind of clear that I'm a guy that likes to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, no normal person would ever be like, "Oh, looks like not even." I mean, it's a hair. It is. It is like a hair thin amount of like you can see like little. It makes the art flip up the mats. Yeah, I'm excited to show you. I'm excited to hang it up. I've got to figure out what I'm gonna do as far as that's gonna be good. So this knee here that you got there, buddy, your kneecap. I don't know how your knee really fits in there. I'm starting to think that it wouldn't actually. Whap, whap. So, okay. I think that needs to be cut. We need to cut that to kind of like fit it in there. It's like maybe like a little whap right here. I'm thinking. Maybe a down. Man, it's so weird cutting just very square shapes. Not a 45, just a straight 90. But I feel like that's what I need here. I feel like every morning I cover like a very fucking random amount of shit just talking. So I'm glad that any people find this, fun to listen to. I just like the company. I appreciate it so much. I'm really excited to show you guys the castle when it's done. I've put a lot of work into it, and I'm thinking you're all gonna like it. And I'm thinking after that, we'll do some Necropolis with a little bit of some Last War scattered in there probably while we're working on stuff for Trench Crusade. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. And I need to sit down and get my like tabletop like RPG, solo RPG stuff set up over there. The main thing is just trying to finish this castle. The castle has just been a soul-crushing endeavor. Not soul-crushing. I mean, I love doing it, but it's absolutely as intensive as it seems to carve brick by brick. Why, hello there.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. On the stream, we got the possum, of course.
Hi, Possum.
Hi. Kelly said hi. Possum is in a meeting currently. So,
Fine.
yes. Still a little jet lagged, but
Jet lag? Oh, from the train.
from the trip. Set on my foot a little bit. It is almost coffee time. Hi, Kelly, said Possum. Hey. Wow. I don't know. I'm gonna have to grab my other pliers. Yeah. That's good. That's the kind of metal I like. That's the kind of metal wire I do like. What you looking for, champ?
Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets. I think they're,
Swear I had a big box.
okay.
Yeah, I swear I had them.
Are they upstairs?
I don't think so. So it was a big box. Maybe they were out.
Maybe. Alrighty. So, leggies. Okay. I'm going to cut these, put these little pins in there, and then I'm going to figure out what kind of feet we need. These guys just seem like they're just screaming to be made into feet. Little backpack pieces of suppressors. But I kind of use that already for like the groin armor plate. So, oh no. It's that time. Well, my sweets. Thank you. I am going to say goodbye for now. Maybe. I'm thinking the back of this guy. I think that could be fun. Like from there down. That kind of looks like a foot. I think we'll use that. I'm sorry, Possum. I feel like I was a bad stream host today. I feel like I didn't get much done. I talked about a whole bunch of stuff. I brought up Night Thirst, didn't really talk much about it. But I am excited. I need to look into it more. There's so many vampire like tropes that I'm just like so pumped about that I'm like, man, I can't wait to make a vampire like that. Same thing with like liches and like any skeleton like kind of undead. I just love undead. Like I love undead so much. They get me so pumped. You were wonderful. Well, thank you, Possum. Likewise. I always enjoy your company. But yeah, I am going to go make some coffee, and I'm going to, I guess, I'll clean up this pile of bits, have my coffee, and I'll finish making these damn bricks. I'm just sad we must call it quits. Likewise, my dear Possum. But yeah, I will. I'll be in the Discord today. I've been trying not to be in the Discord because if I hang out in there, then I'm not like actively working, and I've really got to keep myself focused. But I am almost done cutting these damn bricks, so today I will probably be in there, and I will be doing other things other than brick stuff because I'll be done. But yeah, on that note, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for hanging out and giving me your time. Take care. Sit pretty. Have a good one. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.